Entus, a little bit caught off guard, I must say, because the consensus here at the desk before the game was that it would be very difficult to them. So what did it come down to?
Well, I really prefer the draft right from the get-go. You know, we put Aluka on a super tank, and you see that ambition try to camp Aluka with a good gank in the top lane, but with a champion pool like Maokai and Sion, you just can't kill these champions. And then all of a sudden, with the Annie pickup, they weren't really able to do anything in the bottom lane. And as for the mid lane, Diana just farms, pushes, and TPs back into lane. Not much of an early game plan from CJ, and eventually outscaling.
Yeah, and you know, for me, just watching CJ over the course of this weekend, I've been really unimpressed with Mad Life and Ambition's synergy in terms of getting wards in. They're not really working together as a unit to walk deeply into the enemy jungle or to try and contest vision. Even in that game, we're basically talking about a team that was just formed, who, especially in the early and mid game, had greater vision control than CJ. That's just inexcusable. A very poor play from CJ.
Yeah, and I want to pick on Mad Life again a little bit, though. The Annie is kind of similar into the Leona with the engage and the Tibbers and the AoE stun, but you die faster as Annie, and that's what happened a couple of times.
Well, I mean, we talked about it during the draft. I think the Nami was definitely the better choice here. That's what I would have gotten. It would have been eliminated a lot of the contests and these chokes, could have been more easy to kite back the Sion, but also, I think they just got a little dazzled by TSM, honestly, because you saw that really good synergy between Annie and Victor, but they were just not able to pull it off. And also the fact that they were dealing with this extremely tanky front line means that basically they could just ride out the CC and then re-engage immediately.
Mystic as well, I just want to point out, did 10,000 more damage than his opposite number, and well, that was the second closest person to him. Like, Mystic was constantly doing damage in those fights, did so very well. And now this is a guy that's not really played with the team. I mean, we've got TSM, Yoi Flash Wolves, World Elite. Like, no one thought that these teams would be hitting the semi-finals, right?
It's great. A lot comes down to we see ADs that have been underperforming a lot. When the Sivir pick comes in and your team just gets those kills off or gets those engages that you want, it's just a lot easier for them as well.
One of the things that I really liked is how World Elite chose to play against the Annie. Now, we did touch upon that we thought that the Annie was not a good pick, but World Elite using the Jarvan ult to constantly burn the flash, and same goes with the Sion ultimates and teleports. Killing Annie is not nearly as good as burning her flash.
Yeah, and Sion, that was Aluka, and Aluka is standing by with Chobra for our post-game interview.
Thank you very much, Shox. And wow, we have both the underdogs of each group.